Most accountants think they have a pricing problem, but that's not actually what's happening. And if you don't fix this, you're going to keep working more and somehow making less. And I see this all the time. After 7 years working with accountants, I talk to accountants every single week who say things like, clients won't pay, everyone is price sensitive, I don't know how to raise my prices, I don't know how to get clients to understand what I do. But when we actually dig into it, pricing isn't the real problem. And I want to talk about a client I had, actually still have, who owned a business. When she first started, she was doing her own books. She was managing her own QuickBooks, trying to do it all. She was overwhelmed, constantly behind, and honestly just stuck every time she even opened QuickBooks. I remember asking her one day, why are you the one doing this? And she looked at me and said, I don't have anyone else. And I know I need to keep up with it, but I get stuck every time I try. So we sat down and we started cleaning things up. And I asked her a really simple question. What would it be worth to you to not have to deal with this at all? To just log in, see where you are, and have someone else handle it. So you can still make the decisions over here, but you're not the one that's feeding the information. And she looked at me like I had three heads. And she was like, you can do that? And this would be worth a lot because I spend so much time trying to figure this out. And I still don't know if I'm doing it right. And here's where I got it wrong. And this is where I see a lot of people get it wrong. I didn't price it based on what it was worth to her. I priced it based on what I thought it would take me, how many hours it would take me. And I thought an hour a week, and I was wrong because there's so much more that goes into it that we just don't even look at. And this is where I see so many accountants also get it wrong. It wasn't just me because we don't take into account the back and forth, the conversations, the stress of having to build all of this and get it all together. We don't take a lot of things in account. So if you think about how many times you're going back and forth with your clients, we're not taking that into account when we're pricing. We're just not. So you're not underpaid because you're undervalued. You're underpaid because you're under communicating your value. And that's what I did. It's what I've done for years is I under communicated the value of what we did. Because the thing I didn't understand is clients can't value what they don't understand. So I want to share with you what's actually happening. Most accountants are talking about what they do. Reconciling accounts, categories and transactions, closing books, tax returns. We're talking about task, but clients don't buy task. They buy what it does for them, no different than you. This is what they buy for. They buy for clarity. They buy for better decisions. They buy for less stress. They buy for confidence. And if you're not communicating that, they will never see the value. So I break this down in what I call a V3 framework, and it's clarity, communication, and alignment. So clarity is understanding what you actually do and why it matters. You have to understand that. You have to understand why it matters. You have to understand not just you do all these things for compliance, but why it matters. And then communication is how you explain it. And alignment is how you price it. And most of the time, this is where we get it wrong. On alignment, this is where we feel discounted. We feel people don't value us because it's not aligned, because we feel like we're not the ones. We feel like it's not a win-win situation when it should be. But we have to get clear on things. And most people skip the first two and jump straight to pricing. And that's why it feels so hard. But even if you fix that, most are still underpricing. And it has nothing to do with your value. It has to do with your actual cost. Because you're not just underpricing your work, you're underpricing your entire business. You're pricing like the only thing you do is client work. And we forget all the other things that we need to do. And this isn't even taken into account if you hire a team or not hire a team. This is whether you're solo or you have a team. It doesn't matter because you're also marketing, selling, handling admin, managing systems, buying systems, researching systems, paying for software. The price for software is so astronomical right now, but the amount of software that we have, but that is not taken into account. Doing your own books, your own self-employment taxes, your own taxes, everything. There is so much more that we're not looking at. So the real question is, are you pricing for all of that or just the work? Because most of you are just getting paid for the work and absorbing the cost of everything else. And friends, that's not a business. That's a job. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, okay, I see, but I don't know what to do next. I've actually built something to help with this, and it's called the pricing planner, and it walks you through what I just talked about, what your time is worth, where your time is going, and what you should actually be charging. Because until you get clear, nobody else can get clear for you. And most people have never looked at this. Guilty as charged. And it takes about 10 minutes to go through. So I know everybody is in this constant state of overwhelm. So you can do a little bit each day. It does not take that long to go through. But for many of you that are feeling the stress of tax season right now, and you're feeling the stress of, I just can't keep doing this anymore. This is one of the things that I have found is a lot of the root problem in accounting firms is we are not clear on any of this. And so for some people, they haven't raised prices in years because they don't want to deal with it. They don't have time to deal with it. But I want to leave you with this because I want you to remember this. You're not just doing accounting or taxes. You're helping business owners understand their business, make decisions, protect what they've built. And the problem isn't that your work isn't valuable because there is no amount of AI and software that can replace a human connection. It's that it hasn't been visible. I'm going to say that again. You haven't made it visible to your clients. And for a lot of you, not even to yourself. So before you change your pricing, change how you define and communicate your value first. Because when that becomes clear, everything starts to change and shift. And I hope it does for you. So comment planner below if you want the planner, and we'll get that right over to you. I hope this training was helpful, and have a fantastic rest of your day.